Hey, it's Queen Amina. It's been a long day. So, past couple blogs, I kind of showed you guys a couple things about voting and what's going on in North Carolina and things like that. And tonight I couldn't sleep, so I was looking at some stuff. And I told you guys, when I see things that I'm doing that other people want you to know, I show you. So I wanted to show you some more stuff. Feel like, hey, I've been doing so much talking. I'm going to let others talk for me. Watch.
The most important decisions in its history.
You have a chance
You have an obligation.
to be a part of that decision.
You might think it's not important. You might think you're not important.
But that's not true. And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
Repeating how important.
Important.
How
Important it is. Register.
register.
Vote.
There's so many famous people.
Some of us aren't as famous, but still pretty famous.
Like, you've seen us somewhere.
Sometimes a not famous person will be mixed in with the famous ones
They drive the message home.
because of their unpolished sincerity.
Their unpolished sincerity.
But you only get this many famous people together if the issue's
one that truly matters to all of us.
A disease or
ecological crisis or
A racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Do the math. Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing?
Firing things?
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
we can save the day.
for our children.
For our children.
For our children.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For America.
For America.
For America.
All it takes is all of us.
All of us.
All of us.
We cannot pretend both sides are equally unfavorable.
We can't say one vote doesn't matter.
Your vote matters.
Your vote matters. It affects everything.
Not just the presidency, but the Senate,
The House.
Your local officials.
Immigration.
Student debt.
Common sense gun laws.
The Supreme Court.
See, this isn't just an election, it's a tipping point.
For the country.
For the world.
For your world.
If you don't know how or where to register,
Go to SaveTheDay.vote.
SaveTheDay.vote.
Make yourself heard.
Tell the world that you care about what happens to it.
and if you do vote and help protect this country from fear and ignorance,
Mark will do a nude scene in his next movie.
Mark Ruffalo will do a nude scene in his next movie.
Wait, what?
Mark will do a nude scene.
Mark's gonna have his dick out.
full Monty.
Full Marky.
No. Go to SaveTheDay.vote. We nobody talked about.
Save the day
Make Mark be naked.
by making your vote on November 8th.
They should just vote.
No.
It matters, Don't you think?
We're all in this together. That's why the most popular or memorable actor is the last one you see.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Comedy for you, but seriously, you guys gotta vote. You guys gotta vote. You really do. And then there's this girl. She's a teacher. I don't really know her name. I think it's Rubia Garcia. And she's talking about Black lives. And I'm telling you guys, what's going on in North Carolina is real. The protesting is real. The marching is real. It's real. And again, we are 330 people per officer. We need to stand together and we need to be heard. So I'm going to let this teacher teach y'all. Because again, I'm tired of telling y'all. Okay? So, listen to her. She's kind of cool.
It's time for me to say something. One more thing. And I've said it plenty of times, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Hold on, y'all.
That they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That when Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. These words are the foundation of our country, what it is that we firmly and fundamentally are supposed to be on. Now, I understand that when these words were adopted July 4th, 1776, that this did not apply to black people because they were considered property. I understand all of this, but what I'm telling you is, it's time for some folks to open their eyes and firmly decide for themselves as to what it is that they feel and where it is that they stand when it comes to this. And make no mistake, I'm not calling for another revolution. I'm not calling to overthrow the government. What I am calling for is a great awakening. What I am calling for is my brothers and sisters of all races, religions, creeds, socioeconomic backgrounds, and professions. I am calling on you to speak out verbally and electorally against the injustices that are occurring within this country, because whether or not you want to believe it, they are happening. Now, a few days ago, I posted a video asking how it is that a terrorist dropping bombs and shooting at cops can be allowed to live, but a black man or a child playing with a toy or a black man with his hands up seems to not be able to be detained without being killed. I asked that question like most lawyers do. I asked that question already knowing what the answer was going to be. I knew what folks were going to say, and you walked right into it. That's what I call an okie doke. Your responses were, well, this man has information. This man has some form of value to us. Why? Because he has information, right? So in essence, what you're saying and your rationality, is that this man is alive because he poses a value to those in the upper echelons of our society, to those in power. He's a national security risk, right? Well, I dare say that the injustices that are occurring here with police brutality, those that are given the right to protect and serve, but instead are enacting in such a way that they feel as if their badge gives them the right to be the judge, jury, and executioner, I dare say that that is a national security risk. That is more so an issue of national security than what this man did. And in essence, what you really did was prove my point all along. What you basically said was this terrorist is more of value to the American people than black lives. So in essence, what you said is that black lives don't matter. And you walked right into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to beg of you. From every ounce of my being and everything that I have inside of me to consider the notion that there are things going on here that are inexcusable. They're happening. I promise you that they're happening. Look at what's going on, and people are angry. And I understand, like I said in my live video the other day, that they're not teaching these things in schools anymore, right? So social studies is no longer a subject required to go on, and some people just don't know any better. You don't know the things that went on in history. You know slavery existed, but you don't know how really bad it was and why people are so angry about all of this. And some people are just willfully ignorant. I'm trying to tell you, when I did this first video that spoke out for Black Lives Matter, that was 9 months ago. And I am so sick and tired. Matter of fact, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about talking about it, because I've been saying the same thing over and over and over again. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm a white girl. A blonde-haired, green-eyed white girl from New Orleans, and I'm tired of talking about it, and it's only been 9 months, and I can only imagine that if I'm tired of it after only 9 months, imagine how blacks in this country feel, because they've been saying the same thing for centuries. I am pissed at this point, but the better question is, why aren't you? Those
And you know what I want to say to her? I am pissed. And I'm pissed that you're not pissed. I'm pissed that you're not standing. I'm pissed that everybody keeps saying, oh, it's just the blacks. They're just hating the whites because the whites are... What did the governor say? What was he, a senator, whoever he was? He said, blacks are only angry because they're not successful and white people are. Last I checked, there's millions of successful black people. Whether it's in the public eye or under the radar. We're successful. We take white people in our neighborhoods and we make them feel like family. I posted a video of an officer who lived in a black neighborhood for 22 years. He always felt like family. He never felt alienated. I don't know no black person that moved into a white neighborhood and did not feel alienated. We're pissed. Charlotte, you're in my prayers. Charlotte, keep protesting. And the rest of y'all that are hateful and feel like, oh, everybody that's mad needs to leave. No. The Indians had this land and a crazy white man named Columbus came and took it. So all of you hateful white people, you need to leave. You need to go back to wherever Columbus came from and set up shop. And leave the rest of us, black, white, yellow, blue, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Spanish, Hindu. You need to leave us in peace. Because that's what we're trying to get right now. And I'm tired, y'all. And I'm not talking this video. I'm really trying not to. I had 2 videos. Y'all better vote. Y'all better stand up. And y'all better stand together. It's a Saturday night. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I don't know. 9:05 on a Saturday night. I'm going to bed. Deuces.